It's really nice being here. So yeah, I just with your question, what is love? Um, I find it hard to quantify it into just one definition because love manifests in different circumstances, in different ways. And so for me to just put one definition to it, I struggle to. But I would permit you to, I will ask for your permission to allow my bias. I'm a Christian, so everything I do, this is my guide. Like everything I do, I don't even like to call myself a Christian. I just say I'm a child of God, and this is the word God has left for me, and I try to follow it to the letter. And so, if I go by what the Bible says about love, and you look at First Corinthians 13, it talks about so many things that love is, and that's why I say it's really hard for me to put it in one word. It's patient, it's kind, it's not jealous, not boastful. Love is not proud. Love is not rude. Love is not irritable. Love doesn't judge. Love tells the truth. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith. Love is hopeful. Love endures everything. So it's just all encompassing. And when you find yourself in different situations with different people, it might be with your spouse, it might be with a sibling, it might be with a parent, it might be with a friend. There are just different things that come up that and those different things come up, and then you have to display some particular characteristics that then tells you that okay, this is love manifesting. So when you are so tired, you're fagged out, and then you have to help maybe your sister do something that ordinarily you don't want to do. That's true sacrificing. That's love. Love is also sacrifice. When your parents, you grow up as a child and you feel this responsibility to just take care of your parents, to be there for them, that is love. As a mother, when you hear a child cry in the night, like I'm just looking for different circumstances come up that tells you that by the action that comes as a result of that circumstance tells you that yes, you're displaying love. So I'll just say in summary that I can't really put a word to it. I can't put a particular definition to it, but I see love as life because God says in the Bible that everything you do, every single thing you do, your existence, your breath, if you do it without love, it is nothing. It's useless to him. It is nothing. Love is the basis, is the foundation for life as we know it. Christ loved us so much that he sent his son. That is like that is like the foundation of life for me. So everything you do exists or has a sitting on love. So that's what I think love is. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So from okay, it does exist. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, it definitely exists. Love definitely exists.
Okay. So
The
it
Bible
is
makes it clear. God makes it clear. In fact, an evidence to the fact that it exists is the fact that we are able to display love. We're able to act in love. We're able to love and be loved. So it definitely exists.
okay. All right. So you said from your own interpretation is commitment, taking responsibility, and okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, I'll go to Jennifer. Could you also share with us what your own perspective towards the word love? Does it exist? And what does it mean
Good
with
morning,
us?
everybody.
Good morning.
I am also a Christian, and I would concur to what Zipporah rightly said. One thing I know about everything, and one word I would use to encompass the word love is love. Love is sacrifice. It is sacrifice of emotional display at will because you would get angry at the person you love, but because you're going to sacrifice that part of you of not displaying, because I love this person so much. I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
using an example of a mother and a child. Imagine if you have your phone, like something that happened in my house recently. My younger sister went to wash one of our phones in the bathroom. She's just 1 year plus now. Everything in me wanted to spank the hell out of her, like so that
Mm.
I could get my phone back and all that. But the love in me made me sacrifice that emotion So you have to sacrifice pride, sacrifice selfishness, sacrifice anger. And we cannot say love without God. God is love. So love exists. And one thing I also look at, like when people say does love exist, is it depends on the angle you're looking at it from. So I could be looking at it from a certain angle and you're like, oh no, there is no love and everything, but we cannot deny that fact. So that's my opinion on it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the thing is, when people say, does love exist? Is I wanted to say that the reason why they are asking those questions and the reason why they sometimes feel that it doesn't exist is based on their own experience. Some of them have been through heartbreak and all of that. So, like, I'm giving you love and you are giving me something negative in return. So, like, does this actually, well, what is this thing? So it brings about different questions. So yeah, we're going to dive into it as well. So Akintunde, could you please also share from your own perspective, please?
You're on mute.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. So I'm gonna concur with Zipporah and I'm going to concur with Jennifer. But for me, because of my broad research level and because I always like to look at things from all perspectives, if you were to look at the lexicon as a definition from other definitions, you will still see that it still tallies with what the Bible talks about. Because I myself went as far as doing a deep research on the definition of love. So I got love is complex. That was the first answer. Love is complex. It means that you can't give it a single definition. It could mean anything to anyone at any time, in any place, in any way. So the where, the what, the why, the how, the when are all factors when it comes to you defining what love is to an individual. Do you understand? It's a mix of emotions, behavior, beliefs associated with strong feeling of affection, protectiveness, warmth, and respect to another person. Then it now buttressed that a willingness to prioritize another well-being or happiness above your own, which is sacrificial, according to Jennifer. Extreme feelings of attachment, affection, and need, which is the godly love, which Zipporah spoke about. Dramatic, sudden feelings of attraction and respect, which is part of the things that Rose was mentioning about, how do I know? Am I the one just pointing out the feelings? Do I know when to know that this is the person that I'm giving the emotions to is the person that makes sense? A feeling of emotion, of care and affection and like. You understand? And the mother of it all, which I cut as the crux of the matter, a choice to commit to helping, respecting, and caring to another, such as in marriage or when having a child. Or you can even talk about the combination of all of them together. So love is that deep. It's not something you can just pick on the surface and say, oh, this is this. And yes, it does exist. So the reason why people, to your question, Ronke, where you talked about people having issues, there are basically 4 categories of love: agape, phileo, eros, and storge. Do you understand? Each of these points have their emotional attachment to every individual. Do you understand? If you have agape, which is the godly definition of love, it supersedes every other kind of love. If you have eros, it's sexual. Of course, if I have sex with a girl today, I can tell her I love her because of the climax, because of the chemical, the testosterone mixing with the estrogen or progesterone in the girl. Do you understand? Or so to speak, all the emotional feeling that comes with the hormones that are raging at that point in time with the passion. But when it's done, reality sets in again. And when it sets in, there comes another problem. Yes, reality sets in because one minute you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to be vulgar, but the point I'm trying to make here is when love is eros, if it's sexual, you can't define that as love.
Absolutely not.
You can't. It's just an emotional. It's just an emotional a chemical reaction between two people that both of you have agreed to let the chemical reaction continue to evolve. Then after a time, there's a possibility of that chemical reaction becoming a covalent. In chemistry they call something a bond. Covalent bond, heterolytic bond, and covalent bond. The covalent bond is the strong one. The heterolytic is the one that could easily break. At the heterolytic level, you're still sleeping with each other. You're still having that emotions and everything. At some point, it can become covalent, that it will be unbreakable. At that point, the sexual emotion stops being the idealistic thing again. You understand? It becomes more like a sense of responsibility for that person to say that, oh, fine, we're sleeping together. But beyond sleeping with you, I like you as a person. Your interest is viable to me. Your interest is important to me, and so on and so forth. So it's more, it's deeper than, it becomes deeper than the eros. Or if it is eros, man, it's just sexual. We see, we do, we go. That's how it works. So I forgotten the definition of the storge and the filio. The filio, I think, is just emotional. I don't know how to explain the other ones because I didn't read much about them. But
I think filio is more family. Kind of
yeah,
that you
filio
have
is more
siblings, parents, family.
Exactly. Maybe you understand. At that point, you have that bond, but at some point, Yorubas will say, "Oko lejeti baba kojeto mokoma lala." In the midst of, meaning that the farm cannot belong to a father and a son, where there won't be boundaries. No matter how much you love each other, you always want, there is that feeling of your personal interest that will still come into consideration. So once you talk about it, the moment you are putting your personal interest first, it's no more love. It's no more the agape love, the godly love, which is the real definition of love. So when anybody tells you, oh, this person is this person is that, nah, it's because you have not come to that realization. You have not come to that point. There's a stage you come to that you know that this is the direction, because everything around, it's not, when the person is lying, you will know, because at some point, unless you are because that's why they talk about putting your heart.
No, it's easy for you.
It's not easy for me.
Sorry for cutting.
No, you're not cutting me short. You're not cutting me short. We're having a conversation, so it's not like it's an orderly thing. I feel you will know. You know why?
You're saying that because you're a guy and it's very easy for you guys to detect. Well, actually, from a lady, it's not always that straightforward.
Nobody said it was straightforward.
I've been played.
So how would you know?
I've been played. No. I think it's just you connecting the dots. Someone will always give off something. Okay, now I have a girl that I like. We've talked to each other. We meet outside for the first time, for the first date. It was good. Do you understand? And all of a sudden, the next meeting, it could be at your house. It could happens to be my house. My house doesn't mean that something sexual is bound to happen. I decided to say, okay, I want to host you. I want to cook for you. It happens in civilized environments. People do it. I have done it before. Friends have visited me, females that I have cooked for as a guy before, and nothing happened. Do you understand? And the person decides to visit you, and the first thing the person tells you is, you have to pay for the person. I'm talking from the Nigerian context now. You have to pay for my transportation to visit you. The question is, why are you, so you're coming to visit me, and yet I should pay for the transportation for you to come and visit me?
Yeah. Can't you?
Do you get?
No. I don't want to encourage. I don't want to encourage you to ask that question. What he's saying is very valid. it became so prevalent at a point in time. I think it still is right now, and it's a very, very, very terrible misconception that Nigerian women have gotten so comfortable
Thank
around.
you.
It's I don't know
Ngwanu,
how that came
you have
about,
finished matter.
but I was very I was even at a point I feel like I was guilty with it. Guilty in that sense that there's this sense of entitlement that came amongst a lot of Nigerian ladies, and you just felt that once a guy is talking to you, he owes you this, he owes you that. Nobody owes you nothing. So let's just
Thank you.
establish that. Don't say stuff like, oh yeah, I'm a friend. No.
Wait,
Actually,
wait, Zephora. When they talking, like, but they are friends, right? Or the talking, is it talking of like relationship, dating?
even if it's
Even if we are
friendship,
gisting,
even if they are
even if it's
dating,
about come and
you
date me.
don't need to start when you start, because you so for me, how I perceive that person is you're just coming to be a taker. You're not you can't even allow someone evaluate your true emotions, because you're just
Zephora,
coming
I
from
will
a
keep
place
quiet
of
now
taking
because
advantage.
I will keep quiet now because you have said it all. I will keep quiet because you have said it all.
I don't think
Okay,
that's something you meddle with. That even when someone actually genuinely likes you, that person doesn't see you as someone that's going to add value, because you've come from a place of trying to take.
Exactly.
But love is about giving, and when you truly like someone, you're looking for opportunities to give. And please, I'm not saying this because I was that way. Like I told you, I feel like I was guilty at some point. But coming to a place of knowledge and understanding, it's a very wrong misconception that Nigerian girls need to cut it, stop it.
Okay, Zephora, please, I would like to add to what you and Bishop has been saying. Sorry, I'm calling you Bishop.
Call me Bishop, now Bishop that they call me.
Okay, so I have this thing you're talking about. Is something that I wouldn't lie. Is something that I do not like. It irritates me. I'm going to be coming from two angles. I will tell you something that happened when I was in school. I came home for halls, and my brother was telling me about his girlfriend, and he said his girlfriend wanted to make her hair, and I'm like, oh, fine. And he said he had 3K. He was still a student then, years back. And he's coming to tell me, like, he doesn't understand. I'm like, why are you quarreling? What's going on here? And he goes, she says 3K is not enough, 5K. I will tell you guys, I was so pissed, and I asked, are you her father? Or God, take that money and go and buy jeans or buy something for yourself.
Ngwanu, may God bless you, Jennifer.
And okay, please hold on, calm down. So, it is something I do not like. Now, this has happened over time, and I feel it's not just coming from us as Nigerian girls. It's coming from our parents. There's a root cause. When they tell you when you get married, the advice they give to married women is marry. Your husband will take care of you. Oga, marry. Your wife will feed you fat. So there's this ideology of you're a housewife, he is the provider that is already in the background. Now, I want to come from the angle because I do not like to be, okay, I don't know how to place this thing. I told a friend one time, sorry, I'm taking time. I told a friend one time she was going out and the guy was supposed to get her stuff. And I told her, don't go. And she said, no, she had to go, that they were trying to know each other and everything. And she said she would go. I'm like, you're just getting to know this guy. It's not a time for you guys to now go out and eat. She's like, there's nothing there. Long story short, the guy got her ice cream and meat pie. We're still in the university, in one of the bubbling eateries then in school. So she came back and she told me, I'm like, oh really? Did you have it? You're like, yeah, she did. The guy's nice, but she's still seeing how it goes. Do you know when she backed down, the first statement this guy said was, after all I have done for you? I would tell you honestly, if a guy tells me that, it is a slap to my whole being. Now, why am I saying this? As a girl, when you are going out, madam, if you don't have money, sit down at home. There is nothing wrong with going there and saying, I want to pay for what I am taking. Now, I want to come from the angle because this is something I practice. So I met somebody like months back before the COVID season, and we're talking. He goes to my church and he has been telling me, oh, they've been telling me he likes me. I'm like, why is the guy not coming forward? And finally he came forward too. Oga came forward. Now we got there and I never knew that this guy in his mind, he has married me. First day we are meeting and we are getting married October. That means we are supposed to be getting married this October. we're getting married October, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this, I'm like, calm down. Oh God, don't come off too strong. I just met you. Now, there was something that happened. He asked me, what would you take? I said nothing. And he kept persisting. And before then, I already contacted my sister and I told her I was going somewhere. And she said, okay, get me meat pie and popcorn. So when I got there and I asked, please, you guys have popcorn? I told him, excuse me, I went to check. So he felt I was telling him to pay. So to him now, it's like a way to win me over. And he was like, whatever you want. I'm like, no, I'm not taking anything from you. I ate before I came here. There was something I observed. He took me as someone that is proud. And I didn't like that notion. So I was about leaving. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Any guy that does that, sorry, let me let you finish. Sorry, let me let you finish because I want to tell you one truth. Any guy that does that is actually emasculated. I have gone out with a doctor who has money. Don Dorobuchi better cash. Now me go buy fish for the girl. You understand? I buy fish, I go to the girl house, we chop the fish together. Do you understand? She was telling me when next time I'm going to buy fish that she wants us to buy two. Meaning that I will buy one, she wants us to buy extra. I think it's all about your own confidence. The problem about my patriarchy is this. People don't know their place. Don't get me wrong, all this English I'm speaking right now, I didn't know it before.
Okay.
I must say the truth and let the devil be ashamed. All this English I'm speaking right now, I didn't know it before, but I grew into it. Do you understand me? Yeah. I have gone out before that I bought food for myself, and I was insisting that the girl should eat, and she said, like. I said, okay, fine. I went to buy my own. I said, come. Fine, you're not eating my food because you have money more than me. She knew I was joking. But you must eat out of my meat. I don't care. You understand? That is me. Because the reason for me going out with you to eat is to create a bond. Absolutely. So the moment I'm trying to say you are proud. If you have your own money, please spend it. The moment you are spending your money, it's going to make me double my hustle. I know that you have spent money today. We are going to Ocean Baskets tomorrow. Come and spend your money there. I will just keep quiet. No, it's true.
Yeah. Guys.
I'm telling you,
Bishop.
My question before we wrap up. Is, for someone like me, I didn't do that because I am proud. I did that because I was just meeting him for the first time. We are getting to know each other. Which one are you spending? I don't get it. When we are now friends, it's okay for it to be like a give and take. So I'm like, for someone like me that has practiced that all my life, and I keep getting this you're not letting me spend, you are too proud and all that kind of stuff. Because sincerely speaking, I don't come off like, no, don't pay for me. I'm like, oh no, it's fine, don't worry, I can take this, or I don't want anything. So my question is, how do you now, I don't know, what do these people really want? Bishop, what do you people want?
Okay.
I said.
Wait, Bishop, before you answer that question, sorry, John.
Let Shola and
sorry. Welcome on board, John. I can see John just joined us. Welcome on board. But before I even ask John to introduce himself, right? And I have a question here. So Chimuru asked that, are we saying that when you don't have your own money as a lady, you should not go out with the guy?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
that's not what
you go out with it.
I'm sure that question is being directed to me because I said, if you don't have your money, sit down at home. What I am trying to say is, have a level of respect for yourself, and when you're going out, you kind of take whatever the person brings. I have met friends that have told me they had to quickly call their friends to come and bail them out on a first date with a girl because she takes for herself, brings her friends, and takes away. So let's just be cordial. Treat the money the way you treat your pocket. Even if you eat something elaborate, if you went out, you could just say, okay, give me water or give me milk. Something simple that that anybody can afford. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So Chimuru, did you get that question, or you want to ask? Did you get that question?
I'm fine. Yes.
Okay, all right. So, well, I understand that angle too, because there are some ladies, what they can't even afford to buy for themselves. they have the opportunity. Say you want to carry them go out like this, or more, they'll buy for their mom, they'll buy for, in fact, they will even buy the one they are going to eat the next day and the next and all of that. It happens. I'll share one experience.
My dear.
Yes.
My dear, may God forgive us.
Amen.
At a point in my life, I knew how much they were selling MAC powder for like 3 years consecutively. So don't let's
Okay.
open diary.
Okay, so all of this thing we are talking about the level of stage of maturity. So, you know, when we are saying in the singleness, right, singlehood rather, that it's about you being whole, you being matured on your own, not being dependent on anybody. So you know that, okay, when you're out, like you want to pay, or if it's paying, it's fine, because he chose to pay, like, okay, he's the guy, right? But then, you know, you have your money. And before you even say, what's it called? The level of maturity, you know, you are financially matured. And with the question on this, with the question Roslyn asked, that how do you know when, if it's the one, or when you are ready, and so it's all about your maturity level. So if you have all of this, so you know that even when you're in a relationship, you are not waiting for God to come from work to bring something on the table. You're not waiting for God to wait anything where God talk. Okay, my husband said we will do what my husband. So is it how mature you are? Of course, we're still going to get into that question, but let's quickly allow Samuel John to introduce himself so we can know him while we continue. Samuel, we would like you to introduce yourself, where you're joining us from, your expectations from this conversation today, and your relationship status. Yep.
All right. I'm John, and I've been enjoying myself, even though I joined late. So sorry about that. And Jennifer, where can I meet people like you? Because all the people I've been meeting all around has been from the first day, after the first conversation, recharge my card.
Billy, John, you are
wow.
I don't know.
No, but that's
I don't know.
aside.
Are you there the same category?
Like I've been waiting for, even for just to start a conversation on chat. After the first chat,
are you guys serious?
You reach it will now be like if you say no, this guy, you're stingy, you're this. But that is aside. I'm done from UK presently, and I've been enjoying myself. So what's the definition of the relationship status, if I may ask?
Okay, you know what so don't.
No,
this is
another.
You know my style of introduction.
I
okay,
don't
so
know.
Can you tell us?
This is a new.
Okay, guys, Uncle. Okay, John. So can you tell us if you're single, or you're and ready to mingle, or you're single and you're talking to someone already?
Okay, I'm single, ready to mingle. I'm chatting with all these wonderful people on this call.
Okay, great. So
wow, so that's about us. But anyway, it was nice. I've been enjoying myself. I just want to keep learning from experienced people like this. And Jennifer, how can I meet people like you so that when we go, I'll know that my pocket is safe? All right, that's for that.
Answer this question. This is the second time he's asking. Whether he's trying to ask
Zippo,
like you.
Please, okay, Zippo, are you like her? Because I only heard that when I came on board.
Zippo is married though.
Zipporah is married though.
Okay, no problem. But she has friends. She has friends.
Okay. Okay. Welcome, Angie. You're welcome. Angie, could you please introduce yourself and let us meet you? Welcome to Relationship Reality. So today we are dealing with the business of love, and we've done like an introduction, and we would like to meet you before we would go ahead. And please, guys, let's ask our question. Let's type in our question in the chat box, and the answer, we would attend to it. Thank you. Angie, over to you.
Hi guys. My name is Ange, and I'm happy to be here. And yeah, I'm happy to make also new friends.
Where are you joining us from, Angie?
I'm from Rwanda.
Okay. All right. Are you single, ready to mingle, or you're single and talking to someone?
I'm single and yeah, ready to make friends.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Is there someone that wants to say? You want to say something?
I said I think Nigeria is about to send tickets to Rwanda so I can visit Kigali. Where in Rwanda are you? Kigali or where? Visiting is not.
I'm in Kigali.
Oh, that's beautiful. Expect me in the next 1 week.
Okay. You're very welcome.
Okay. I have heard someone say that, falling in love actually is not difficult, is easy, right? But people are actually struggling with staying in love. So yeah, so how can we address that? What would be our advice on how can we stay in love? So when I say, oh, I met him and the chemistry worked, pam, I fell in love with him and all of that. So how can I keep the relationship, that's tempo, going? Yeah, Zipper.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say that I think the thing is people have unrealistic expectations when they go into love, and we can blame it on what we see in the media. So you see movies that talk about love, and they lived happily ever after, and it was all perfect and everything went on well, and they planned the script or the way the movie turns out. They make everything seem so perfect, and they don't show that love can have some ugly sides to it. When we were defining love, we emphasized on the fact that love is sacrifice. So what that means is you're going to have times where you're sacrificing. The secret to staying in love is actually the real love part of it. So the secret to being, so you meet somebody, you fall in love with that person. Obviously, everybody puts their best foot forward. You're meeting the perfect part of that person, and you guys continue this relationship, and it keeps growing and growing. And then all of a sudden, you get comfortable with yourselves, and then you start seeing that not so good part in the person. I think another thing we should always go into, when we're going into relationship, what we should always have at the back of our mind is that no one is perfect, including you. I am not perfect. I am not perfect. I have my flaws. I always think to myself, I have my flaws that this person has to deal with. So therefore, I should be able to deal with that person's flaws. I can be a klutz, I can be disorganized, I can get angry at times, I can scream, I can get upset, I'm emotional, I'm this, I'm that, I'm impatient. I have all these flaws that yeah, I'm also working on them personally with God helping me with the Holy Spirit and all of that. But while I'm still a work in progress, I have a partner that has to deal with it. So once you keep reminding yourself that we are all just humans, nobody's perfect, it makes you realize that in as much as this person is being so difficult, you have the things that that person has to deal with. So it helps you bring that humanity, that patience, that understanding. And like I said, all of these things were things I called when I was defining love. It's these things that then tells you that okay, you really love the person. And when you find that you're struggling to accommodate this person's flaws, this person's mistakes. It's okay, and this is outside marriage. It's okay for you to walk away. If you feel like, okay, I came into this relationship hoping to build something beautiful, hoping to build something more permanent with you. However, I've noticed that you have this, and I don't think I have the strength. I don't think I have the strength in me to deal with this. You walk away, and it's okay. The problem is that we ladies especially, we see the signs for things that we know we don't want or we can't deal with or we can't manage, But we just, in our heads, we try to look for excuses to manage that situation. And then we go into something more permanent, like in marriage, and then it becomes very hard. It becomes very difficult for us to pull out because you have societal pressures and all of that. Very few people are bold enough to take that step and do what needs to be done to maintain their sanity and maintain their safety and their health and all of that. So all I'm saying is, don't have unrealistic expectations. Don't let the movies fool you. You're going to meet people, you're going to meet somebody that is amazing, he's loving, he's caring. He has a lot of amazing features that has made you even be attracted to that person and fall in love with him. But guess what? He's still human. He's not an angel. He's not God. He's going to have his flaws. He might be quite unkept at times. He might always forget stuff. He might zone out and not listen to you. He might leave the toilet door sit up or whatever. Like, he might do those little things or those big things that upset you, and you need to start training yourself to accommodate those excesses, because you're reminding yourself that you are also human and you have your excesses he's dealing with. But once you see that you can't, like, you don't think you've signed up for this, no, I can't do this, it's okay for you to move on. And something my mentor always says is, and honestly, if I had known, like, in hindsight thinking, if I had known this, it probably would have made my decision a lot easier prior to me getting married. But she said something. She said, before you go into marriage, at minimum, you need to know yourself. You might not be able to fully comprehend who you are 100%, but you should have an idea of the kind of person you are. You should have an idea of the kind of things you want for yourself. As I'm going to talk as a lady, because obviously I'm one. As a lady, ask yourself, what do I want to be? What do I want to make out of my life? Where do I see myself going? And when you establish the kind of person you are, or what you see yourself accomplishing, or what you want to be in the future, it really helps you to determine the person you would end up settling with, and it helps you determine whether or not you're going to take this or take that. I'm going to give a very quick example. If you see yourself as someone that is, so you have a passion for kids, and you feel like, okay, you might sometimes there's a possibility you might venture into having a foundation for children, or have a missions where you travel a lot to help children, and you see yourself going into charity work, or you see that you have that affinity for that kind of thing, and there's a possibility you go into it. You're not going to marry a man that, or when you meet a man that literally doesn't even want you out of the house, that is already a big no-no, because there are men like that don't want their women out. They tell you, don't work, don't do anything, I'm going to feed you, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That is already telling you that with where I'm going to and with the kind of person I intend to be, this is not going to work. This is a no-no that I cannot, like, is a no-no. Don't give excuses, because this is what causes problems in the future. When you now go into it, realizing that this is the kind of person he was, and this was all he used to tell you when you guys were dating. And then you get in and you want to start having all those trips, traveling around, going for different charity events, missions, and all of that. And then you start having all of those backlash. Or you meet a man who is very traditional and wants a situation where, oh, my meals are prepared, breakfast, lunch, dinner, he wants you there and there. But you know you're a career woman. You know that you are hoping to one day be the MD, a CEO, CFO. You're working towards a chairman position at your company, or in your, like, you want to get to the peak of your career. And the kind of career you have, it might be in, like my career, I'm in accounting, is a very, very stressful environment. Like, if the person you're with has to be very understanding, you keep late nights, you have those kind of, work, you bring work home a lot, and you have a traditional man that is not about that life, my dear, that already tells you that there's going to be a problem somewhere, But if it's something that is still within, you can still accommodate it, then okay, yeah, you can venture it and say, okay, let's see how it goes. We can still fine tune it. But let me be very clear and be very sincere that you would have to sacrifice. You can't eat your cake and have it. With marriage, it's sacrifice with capital letter S. It is. So I just wanted to put that out there, because the question, when you see people ask, is there really love out there? You realize that sometimes it's just you being selfish and not willing to sacrifice. Sometimes it's just you holding somebody to a standard that you're not willing to hold yourself to. So you know very well that you as a person, you have your faults, you have your weaknesses, but you're not willing to accept that other person has his faults and weaknesses. So it's for you to gauge and say, okay, am I willing to take this or not? Thank you. Sorry, I probably.
Wow. Okay.
Aderonke, please, I want to
Yes,
just
please.
ask for a favor. I know I
Okay.
came late, but can we please do a quick introduction so that we will know everybody, since everybody knows us, but we don't know them. Thank you.
All right. So you see why you don't come late to a meeting.
Yes, I won't do that again. I'm sorry.
All right. Great. So, all right. Maybe we should do it quickly. Zephora, Jenny, Bishop, could you please do that?
Okay, hi,
Brief
Zipporah.
introduction.
My name is Zipporah. I'm an accountant. I work here in Australia. I'm married with my family here. I have a 2-year-old boy who keeps me busy every day of my life. And yeah, like I said, I came here because I'm just eager to learn, share knowledge, learn about relationships, about love, and yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for
you.
that. And I need a marriage counselor, a relationship counselor.
All right. Jenny.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Nice to be here with you. I am Okotie Omaomi Jennifer. I am a fashion designer, fashion coach, and stylist. And I am also like a teens and moms coach, teenage girls and moms coach. Like I help them get through challenges that they may face in their way. I am a Nigerian that lives in Nigeria. And I'm single as well. I'm here to learn and kind of understand with the way this topic is going and discussion. And I'm trying to understand why my long-term relationship failed.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
That's a
Something that
rare
yeah, man,
mouth.
that's
Please,
deep.
how long was it? I like gist. Please,
6
how long
years.
was it?
6.
Yeah.
They are the carcass of the long thing. Like, let's see how it goes. Okay. We are coming to that.
We are
Bishop.
coming.
Yes.
Hello,
Bishop.
everyone. My name is Akintunde Ogunyomi. I'm an IT project manager.
Please, can you speak up? Yeah, I cannot hear you.
Yes. Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Akintunde Ogunyomi. I am an IT project manager. Who is also a business analyst, a business development manager for small businesses in Nigeria. I currently reside in Nigeria. I am here to learn, to listen from experiences, and at the same time, learn my own voice based on mistakes I have made. I lost the girl I was supposed to get married to. She's currently married. She stays in Belgium right
Hope
now.
it's not me.
No, not you. What? Wait. She's married. She stays in Belgium. Also had issues with relationships. I seem not to be the type that stays in a relationship for long. Yeah. And I think I attribute that mostly to my fault. But I've also been the type that has always made a living out of life. I've never really lived a life. So I'm here to listen to people's perspective about how they've gone through theirs and learn how to maybe be more flexible at things I'm doing myself, so that I can, stop.
Wow. Okay. So, John, I guess you have the answer.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take the next chat from what Jennifer just mentioned and what Bishop just mentioned, and I know that many of us also have that question in mind. So, how do I know that I'm ready? And I think how do I know that I'm ready? So I was recently chatting with some of my guys, like, don't friend zone me. Some people will come and be sister zoning me. They'll be man zoning, saying ma. I don't do those. See, you like me, I like you. All right, let's talk. Don't come and be doing long thing for me, saying let's see how it goes. 1 year, let's see how it goes. 2 years. Yeah. So we need to know when are you ready? Sometimes I can be ready and your partner, my partner is not ready. So how do I know that I am actually ready? And how do I identify time wasters? Right. So we won't be longing 6 years, Jenny Kwa. 6 years. You go
Okay,
don't born
should I
pikin,
speak
say
on
pikin
should I speak on
gone.
my part?
Please.
Okay,
6
so
years.
basically, at first earlier I would say, oh, I wasted 6 years and everything, but I would just say it was years of discovery for me. And one of the things I learned so well is I didn't know who I was. Like, I haven't found myself. And as a lady, we tend to have this mother hen nature. He will change. I can change him. I will nurture him. And it's a no-no. Zifora, I can't hear you. Are you saying something?
Sorry, I said he won't change.
Yeah.
He won't
So
change.
one
I
thing
can give you
is
that one for free.
know yourself and all that. Yeah, I felt for me, the way it was in that relationship, let me just come out with you guys. If I am walking on the road and the guy says hi, you are like somebody that wants to steal me from my partner. I don't talk to guys. I'm a one way.
One man show.
And yeah, and the previous one was about 3 years or thereabouts. So I've just been in 2 relationships basically, from school till out of school and everything. So one thing I have come to realize, and I would advise anybody, is discover yourself, know who you are, have a checklist, and work on yourself. All these ones that we are praying and waiting. Ogbeni, pray, wait, and discover and start working on things. If you wake up late at night, or sorry, like late in the day, your husband won't take that. Your children won't take that. Start working on those basic things, those little things. For me, I use my anti-kids as my project, kind of like I am waking up and sending to them. I am doing my job. I cannot marry a person that wouldn't fall in line. Okay, I was in a meeting some time ago and we're talking about things that you need to check when you're single. And I stood up and I said, one of the things that you need to check before you get married is make sure this person intertwines with your goals and your vision. And the person was like, what do you mean? And a married woman stood up, sorry to say, because what she said to me was, God forgive me, it didn't make sense. She said, a woman should not have a goal and a vision. Her husband's goals and vision is hers. Now, these are the issues I deal with.
Wait, Jenny. That preach seriously, that point, please. I need you guys to key into it, because that is what we were told.
Okay.
Please.
But yeah, let me say something. Let me say something. So when she said that, I flinched. She's a pastor's wife. If she was my mate, like she's not married, we will have it outside, because I will warn her. She just spoiled the minds of a lot of guys that were there, because she's a respected person. And I felt bad. This is why most mothers are bitter, because you will first take your husband and your children as your project. When the children, your husband is doing his own, your children will grow, they will get married, and you will now be feeling like you're idle and
so empty. You don't have anything to show for
and
yourself.
that thing just made me feel like you are telling God that you're a waste, because God created each person for a purpose.
Absolutely.
So one thing is discover yourself. We are waiting, let's start discovering ourselves. The guy that I told you guys that said he has already married me in his mind, when I checked him with my list and everything, not like I have a very long list, one of the things, like, he has to love God. When I checked that one was a struggle. I am not ready to be a nanny over anybody. Not like I'm perfect. I have my flaws. I'm working on it, but there were some things that didn't just make sense. So best thing to do is discover yourself. That one is very important, because that one will make you know the kind of person that would complement you. It will help you know a person that will complement you. Then another thing is, I will tell you, I was in a 6 years long relationship and everything, but there were some things I missed. I can tell you that I don't know his family members completely. Do I even know his family members? These were things that I would say, what about this? And me, I'm a shy person. I'm like, no, I don't want to meet anybody. Maybe if I had met them, I would have known. I would have known that, okay, there's a reason why he was keeping me away. There was one lie he told. I was in Lagos and I was like, okay, let's see. And went around his house. I'm like, okay, let's go see your house now. Which one are you taking me to places? Let's go to your house. I was like, oh, there is something that is one thing that happened with his ex. And when she came to the house, they couldn't end up. I'm like, Christian girl, they've used Bible to to do me now. I said, which one is that one? What's that? Let's go. And I found out that I was wasting time. Sincerely speaking, a guy that wants to get married to you, he knows in the first 3 months. Nobody should tell me any other thing. He knows. When I mean he knows that
the
this person
first
is for
time he
keeps.
meets you. Actually, that's what I've been told. That
he knows you're for
can
keeps.
tell.
Why I'm saying 3 months is because some of us, we may distant people till we now realize, okay, we want to get into a relationship. So for me, if I am getting into a relationship with somebody, I'm going to be like getting the whole juicy and having the conversations. Now, there are some conversations that we do not want.
Okay, so I guess someone is distracting.
Sorry. There are some conversations
we get it.
that we would not want to have as ladies. Out with it. Ask the questions. Mr. Man, why are we in a relationship? What's going on? Are we trying to know? Are we playing? These are questions girls don't ask. They return, okay, test him, check. Don't test anything. You're not a tester. And please, I don't know. Let me calm down. Somebody else
question is very, I think girls shy away from that. And I remember when I asked the guy that question, it's very terrible when you
like
get
they blackmail us. They blackmail us.
It's terrible when you don't get the answer you want.
Yes, they'll tell you you're too desperate. You're too desperate. Why should you be coming up?
That's a word.
If I can ask you how was your night, I should be asking you when are we getting married. It's a question. You should answer. We should know. I don't know.
But not early. But well, you won't ask that question early. I want to believe so.
Not like you're asking him on the first date. So no, now.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, because I stayed for 6 years, I would say I spent 6 years with one person that maybe I could have spent with somebody else and we would have known, okay, I'm getting married and all that, or I'm just discovering myself. But now I realize that I am now beginning to find myself. I'm looking at him now. He's a good person. I'm a good person. But we never matched. There were things that caused issues that it happened because we are not on this leave and a lot of things. Help me.
Okay. Zifara, I think you want to share something there.
Oh no, she was saying she was making a comment around asking that question, and it made me remember a time where I was with this guy and I thought we were having something good. Like I thought we're just talking. I wouldn't say it was a relationship, but it almost felt like this was someone that would, ask questions on my birthday, who make efforts to make it special and things like that. And so I went on to ask, and I said, because to me at this time I felt like I was old enough and I was ready. And I just wanted to know, what are we doing? He was ready. Well, let me not say he was ready. I know for sure that he had gotten a job, he was stable, and he looked like he was ready to settle down. And so for me, I asked, so what are we doing? And this guy stammered his way throughout the question. I have never felt so depressed in my life. I regretted ever asking. I said I was never going to ask anybody that question. I still remember how bad I felt. But yeah, going into my husband I'm currently married to, at the time where we met, and this is not the same for everybody, but from the first day we had like a lunch together, he said, I want to marry you. So that's why I'm talking to you, because I want to marry you. So from the first day till we got married, we knew we were getting married. Like, say, I'm talking months or weeks to months into us dating. I kept insisting, you need to calm down. You can't say you want to marry me. You don't know me. You don't know if you love me. You don't know, and all of these questions. And I said, yes, I'm just trying to make it clear so that you understand what my end goal is. And that's what I've noticed with guys that are serious. There's clarity. There's clarity. They make it very clear. They make their intentions clear. They don't struggle to. It's never about, okay, let me see. Let me see. Like it's clear. They are able to tell you what their intentions are. If they tell you, I intend to marry you, and along the line or along the way as your relationship goes, you will start to discover things, and you get to a point where it's not working. There's that maturity where you are able to say, okay, we really hoped it would have, however, it hasn't, and we go our separate ways and wish ourselves well. But I feel like there's that clarity. It might not be with the words, I want to marry you, no, but there's that clarity. it's easy. The person is transparent. You can see through what the person says. You can trust. There's just this trust in what the person is saying. The conversations are healthy. You are not. There's a signal that this my mentor always talks about. She says you don't have to start questioning a lot of things. You every day you have to ask yourself, because I've been in a situation where I've had to question, and I've been in a situation where there was clarity, so I know the difference. And you start thinking, what he said this night, what does it mean? Does it mean this? Maybe I should ask someone what he was trying to say. Or he says one thing and tomorrow he's contradicting himself. There's no contradiction. It's very clear. What you see is what you get. Like there's that clarity, there's that transparency. That's really what I'll say. It might not be him saying directly, like, oh, I want to marry you, but there's that clarity of goals. I really want to. He might not, maybe he might be shy or he might be scared to say that word, I want to marry you. But he will say things like, I want to be with you. I like you. I like you a lot. He's very vulnerable to you. He's able to, yeah, there might be people that have had a lot of bad experiences and he might be careful. But when you check it, there's still that level of vulnerability that they expose to you, that they show you and say, okay, I'm all in with this one girl. I say that this is somebody good. This is someone I can spend the rest of my life with. This is someone that has value. I respect her. They don't shy away from the family. They are ready to, if you call tomorrow and say, oh, my mom just went by, okay, I'm happy to drop you at home. They don't shy away from meeting your family. They don't shy away from meeting your friends. They don't shy away from getting involved in your life. If anything, they look forward to it because they have good intentions. Any person that has bad intentions are the ones that try to, just like the way darkness, they'll try to lurk away, and so there's that clarity. That's just what I'm going to say.
Okay, all right. Speaking
Hello.
of clarity, yeah, John.
All right, yeah. You guys have been saying a lot of things, and relationship is about, another thing we focus to understand is looking at it from both aspects of both sex. The pressure coming from the ladies are more than the pressure coming from the guys. So you guys will be looking at your circle, pressure from home, pressure from friends and the rest. But a guy, he doesn't have a circle that is closing. So looking at that from that angle is the pressure comes to more on the lady side. So sometimes you might feel from the lady side that she's pressuring you too much. Why? Because she's considering herself. That's one. And I was in a meeting yesterday and they asked a question about, can you marry you, blah, 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 blah. And most times we don't sit to consider and do a SWOT analysis of ourselves, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities. Even when we do that, do we work on the weaknesses? We don't. We just know that, okay, this is it, and we don't. Like Jennifer said, that those periods of you waiting and praying, you should also use that period to discover yourself. Not only discover yourself, develop yourself. Because if you don't develop yourself, when the opportunity comes, you wouldn't be ready. And there's this saying that when opportunity meets preparedness, then it's success. So if the opportunity comes and you're not prepared, it will be catastrophic. And relationship is not only one-sided, it's hard work on both sides. So you need to look out for it, look out how prepared you are, look at, okay, am I ready to? And like most people said, most times from the guy, when he's ready, you don't need to pressurize him too much. He knows it. Okay, this person, after he has done a lot of checking and analyzing, okay, I've been with A, B, C, D, and this one is not a serious person, this is it. And so many things that constitute before a guy says, yes, he wants to take it to the next level. Some might see it and they might be convinced from the first meeting, second meeting, but some, it might take some level of, so everybody is not based. What works for Zippo might not be what will work for Jenny or be the one that work for. So you need to understand yourself, understand the peculiarity of the person you are relating with, the way you relate with your friends, female friends are not the same. You have your acquaintances, you have your best friends that you have. So also in relationship to you, just have to know that thing. And most times they said love is blind in quotes, and that is marriage that open the blindness. So if you are not ready to, you
Mm.
need to be in relationship with your eyes opened, your brains okay, and everything, and also learn to listen to people, to counsels that are good, that will lead you aright, because so many counsels will be coming at that side. But how you are able to differentiate that? Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that contribution, John. Okay, when you were talking about pressure, then it still brings about, I think you also answered that in your comment, that it has to do with you, and it's what we've been talking about: self-discovery, identifying yourself, knowing who you are and what you want. So when you have the list, see, I remember there was a time I was having a conversation with Bishop, and he said something to me very profound, and I didn't even think of it. Fine, I have my list of my ideal partner, and I said something. I think maybe we should check with your relationship pattern. So I was like, my relationship, say, yeah. When something is not working, I think you need to just go back and like draw your relationship pattern. Then I went about like, okay, boss, and I actually did that. So that brought me back to my ideal partner. Then I listed it out. Then I started looking into the people I've dated in my small life. I like, okay, sick. And do you know the funniest thing? None of these people, in fact, none of them
How
fit
many are
into,
there, I may ask? Are they up to
they
100?
are here. What? They are here. They are
You
not up
have
to
a
100.
relationship journal.
One, two,
Oh my
three,
God.
5. Right. And I looked at like none of them fitting. So it is also very, very important that sometimes we miss the place of friendship. We just see the I love you, talk your own. Then we jump into relationship sharply. With the mindset of, many people, we have a different, like, we are talking about when we started, I think it was Zephora that mentioned, that expectations, have a realistic expectations and be guided. When you have, who I am, I cannot settle for, okay, this is what I want for myself. So when I meet someone, I'm hoping, let me meet you. Even when I know that you don't have this thing in you and I'm looking for it, I want to say that if you are all about growth, if you're someone that actually believe in evolving, like, okay, I part-time, I want to be more of myself. But if you're with someone with a fixed mindset, then wahala go day. But I know something, that we miss the place of friendship. The place of friendship, and we jump the class and go directly into courtship. And we are talking that the person is not talking to us, is not giving us what we want, is friend zoning us. It's turning 2 years relationship into 20 decade. Yeah, be how many decade? Right. So anyways, I think I want us to answer this question. Akintola, do you have any contribution in this regards? Bishop.
Yeah, okay. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, because sorry, Akintunde. I'm not used to your Akintunde. Bishop, yes.
Okay.
No, yeah, thinking.
Contribution in what area?
But thank you anyway. I need to thank you for that, for the idea you gave me on the relationship pattern. Yeah, it actually worked for me, and helped me to see things clearly. Because sometimes we get sorry.
You need to give yourself grace. I mean,
Okay, I guess your network is.
We can barely hear you.
is it better now? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better.
Sorry. My bad about the network. So I've made so many mistakes, and all I do right now is ensure that people around me don't make the same mistakes. Because look, you talk about you not being pressured to men not being pressured. I think it's responsible for a man to feel pressured by the time he's 35 and he's not married. It's my thoughts. I'm not saying it is right. This is the reason. Because I feel by you're 35, you should be able to give a balance to your life that I need to have a direction, and the direction includes having that steady woman that is like a backing. You understand? That is like a set. That's like your complementer. You're whole already, but you have that complement with you that stays with you, that sticks with you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
After God, person is like the best friend that sticks closer to you like a brother. Do you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
with that in mind, you have a guideline to things you're doing, a direction. All targets will be hit successfully because two heads are always better than one. That is my fault. I might be wrong, but I stand to be corrected. Then in the area of we talked about knowing, you need to also, of course, your relationship pattern, you need to look at the trends. You understand? Before actually be from you. Like I would tell people, blame anybody about my relationships. Yeah, so I've had women that are terrible, but me too. I don't get my faults. Well, as in I can't begin to count them. One thing is this: I can be antisocial at times. I can be very antisocial at times, and the truth is, nobody, wife, no will come meet you for your ass. Don't think it. You need to go out there. You need to express yourself. You need to mingle. You need to discern with your heart and your head the right company to find yourself in and pick someone from there and get to know that person. Do you understand? And
Okay.
it's important both parties to also be confident about who they are as a person. They must be able to. They like Zipporah said, you must know yourself. And I will end up by I will cap that statement with, man, know thyself, and unto thyself be truthful. Once you know what you stand for as an individual, you will be able to know this is the category I can play into. Like me now, I can't date someone who is not intelligent. The reason is this: I need someone to stimulate me, stimulate my. It's not in terms of sexual that I can. I have something. There's always something to talk about. If we're not having an intellectual conversation, we are yabbing ourselves. If we're not yabbing ourselves, we're playing pillow fights. There's always some creative stuff to do. That is if you are married to the person. Yes, when a child comes into play, there will still be laughing times where you'll be yabbing yourself that, oh, see the way you're carrying the baby, blah blah blah. Those fun moments. Zipporah, am I correct or wrong? Because of course you'll be serious. When the child
Very,
comes
very
in,
correct. There are
you are
times where
because
it's that friendship that would sustain you guys. So you're very correct.
because it's the laughter. It is the laughter that you'll be yabbing yourself. Maybe when you were small, carrying out like you have big belly, pot belly. You understand? There are times you go home, Deborah, that your husband will be carrying your son in the back, like as if he's backing him, and you'll be like, so you have turned to mommy today, correct? But that's love.
Exactly. Those kinds
That
of
love, you will
moments.
enter and cook for the
And
man,
then
and you will even make. I tell myself now like this: I like food. I've told myself that I cannot kill a woman after 3 square meal. Ngwanu, don't do any. I must not. I have personally learned how to cook, and I'm still learning every day. Because there are days that you will the woman, and all you can do is slave in the kitchen. Don't even talk to her. Don't fight. Just enter the kitchen, cook for her. Tell her you have cooked lunch. A reasonable woman would see that you enter kitchen, you cook, you don't even call me, you don't even say anything. You understand? Those are little gestures. I've dated a girl before that. All I said sorry with was, oh yeah, come to my house, let me cook for you. And that was the story.
Act
That
of
was the
service.
apology. You just have to understand who you're dealing with. Yes, it's easier said than done. Don't be deceived. I like my English might be sweet, but man, I do the work too. Well, do you understand? I do the work. And where I have mistakes, I always go back to the drawing board, to the teachers that I've learned from, and be like, okay, what did I miss here? Where did I miss it? You understand? And even in every friendship I get to start. When I met you, when I met you, Ronke, it's not like you didn't have a life. You had your own stuff. But we mingled at a level. We talked about things that were very, very important. Because me, value is very important. Value is the first thing I bring to the. I always like a woman to bring to the table because me, I will always do that. The first thing I want to bring to the table is value. I cannot afford not to bring value to the table because because I will also want you to bring value to my table. You understand? Nigeria is not sweet. I need a friend. Even if I'm not married to you and we're just partying, I need a friend that is a motivator. That will be telling me nothing will happen. You will make your own, yes, in Jesus' name. Even if it's just friendship. You understand? I can't deal. You understand? So those are some of the little things. I don't know if I'm missing anything there. Jenny talked about opening your eyes. Man, you need to open your eyes. Open your eyes and your mind. It's going to be looking and seeing. You must see. And permit me to say this: a man has an instinct of the kind of girl you are from the first 1 hour. It's not the OD, it's the first 1 hour. He has an instinct.
That was what I was trying to get at when I said he would know. Like he knows if this is the kind of person I can end up being with.
It is 1 hour. It is not a month. 1 hour.
Because he knows what he wants. So he knows
exactly
how to actually look for it.
My husband, our first meeting, he asked me the most random questions. It was later we got married. He was telling me what he got out of my response. Sorry for cutting short. He was not telling me what he got out of my response that made him realize that it is here.
You did not cut me short.
It's here that my bus stop has ended. He asked me I'm telling you the most random questions that you will not even think the person is trying to get anything out of it. I was just asking based on what my truth was, you know. And
Zipporah, sorry to cut you short. See, even if you were single, from the moment you started talking, I had already liked you. Why? Because you came forward with the first thing an ideal woman to come forward with. It is the scripture. It's not about your feelings, because they will say your feelings were created. The word of God was not created; it was made. It was established by who created you. You understand? You created your feelings. The feeling in you was created by you through the nerves, all the neurons, and everything. But you start with the foundation of a true relationship. Any man gets that. You see, hey, this one knows where she's going. A woman that knows where she's going.
Something that really struck just said something that really struck a chord, which is the truth of the matter is these things you said, they're all nice, friendship. You want someone that when you guys are going through it, you can still laugh about things. But trust me, there are times where you are going through it that is literally because God says so. I'm doing it. Let me be very clear. I am literally going to wake up and go and prepare this meal for this man because God is expecting it from me, not because I'm looking at you. Because that day is by what I want to do. I just want to get in the car and drive and leave you people alone. Just leave me. But when you think of God is looking at you, there are times where in my mind, maybe I just want to, I know my husband wants to eat this particular thing for dinner. I'm just being so lazy because I'm like, oh, I'll just cook the most, like I'll just warm something that's already like table food and just warm it up and give it to him. And then the Holy Spirit will be like, don't do that. Don't. Like, nudge me. You know what he wants. Because there's something that the Bible says that if to you, your heart judges something against you that is wrong, it's sin to you.
Yeah.
So it's sin already. And I'll say, oh God. And I'll now ask, what do you want? And I know he's going to say that, and I'll have to go. I'm just saying that there are times where it's not about love, it's not about feelings, it's not even about the friendship. It's nothing. You just wake up that day with a plain face and like, let me that this God that I'm serving. I would love to
add to what Zipporah is saying. The last relationship that I was supposed to be in, because this thing now, I'm this kind of person that I love to keep my relationship discreet with myself, and I am a very protective person of my family. So if we are dating, I am protective of you. Like, you don't say trash. Even if I come to tell you, oh, see what my boyfriend did, just give me the best advice. Don't throw vocal words or anything. Okay, so this particular person that everybody, my sister was telling me, this is the person, oh, this guy, give him a chance. Ah, what's your own? And I'm like, they're like, have you healed? I'm like, yes, I have. Now, something happened that was so profound. I was still talking to him, we're chatting. I traveled. I'm like, okay, this guy, there's some things I don't like. They're like, is that you don't like anything? I'm like, guys, I am telling you that the only thing I like about this guy is his perfume. And everybody's like, how can you just like a perfume? I'm like, wait, I'm not being difficult. I'm not looking for a rich person. If he comes, fine. I'm not looking for, but there, I don't know. My spirit is just drawn only to his perfume. And they laughed about it. Now, my sister said something that made me remember what I told her. I told her, I said, every relationship I have gotten into, I will get into it and I will bring God in. I will not start saying, Father, let this thing work. Father, I say now, I would ask him before I get into it. So she was like, oh, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So when I told her that I have a very off feeling about this guy, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. And she said, I trust you now. I know you have prayed. I didn't tell her that I haven't prayed. It was then it dawned on me that, man, you haven't brought God into this to shock you. That was around like 10 p.m. or to 12 at night. So I got up and I prayed. I was like, God, this is the guy that is bugging me. He has, like, I started calling him potential kidnapper because he knew everything that was going on in my house. He knew my timetable, and me, I knew nothing because he has been keeping tabs on me. So I prayed about it. And the next morning by 11, I think I traveled with a friend. We went to chill, and I was like, oh, we needed to take a break from work. So I and her, we went to chill. So he felt like he was off. Girls don't just do that. Maybe there was a guy or something. So I now told him I was upset with the way he was thinking, although he didn't come out outright. The next text I got 10 a.m. the next morning was, I don't, pardon my language, please. I don't give a fuck about you. You think I'm a fuck boy? Sorry, I'm going to be using those words. You think I'm a fuck boy? I am just
Tell you for free that God was answering your
here.
prayers.
I'm the real deal. What is? And I'm like, what is going on? And I read through the text. Everything in me was boiling. I said, no. If I give this guy the words of his life, he would not get up for 1 week. I need to backlash. And that was how I was feeling. And the Holy Spirit used to get people to come and start telling me he's sorry and everything. But for me, I remember God reminded me, my dear, you prayed yesterday, didn't you? This is the answer. Because if you look at the whole thing, the response, the message, nothing made sense. It didn't make sense. It didn't collide. We didn't have a quarrel, nothing. I just said, I didn't want to take your calls now. What was bringing the S word? And I said, even my friends wouldn't tell me this because they know that I don't like being of this way. Why now? And that was it. And it keeps coming back. So what I'm trying to bring here is, let us bring God first. If someone is disturbing you, talk to God. Some of you, he talks to you through your dreams. Some of you, he gives you revelation. Some of you, he may show you signs like he showed me. So let us not put God aside. And when we have gone far, we are not like, God, in 6 months now, he hasn't said anything. So that's my own contribution.
Yeah.
To add to what Jennifer said, not only in relationship, in everything, we put God last. So when it's not now working, we now say, God.
Why me?
Even in our career, is the last person we go to in everything we do. When it's not now working, that project, God, what alpha now? Why are you leaving? But when we're about to start, we never. So that's
invited him. So guys, the question now is, how do one build a healthy relationship?
I was actually just going to say, because Rosalind wanted us to answer a question, and I noticed you hadn't.
Yeah, that's true. How do I know? Okay, let's us answer that before I go to this one I just had. So Rosalind asked a question that, how do I know if he is the one? So how do I know if he's the one? Jennifer was in a relationship for an interesting decade. And
Jennifer is now the case study today.
Yes, now interesting decade.
Okay, for me,
so
I would say
one of the ways known if the guy is actually the right.
Rosalind, please, for me, one thing I know I didn't experience was inner peace. And it is something that I have asked my friends that are married, and they're all telling me, regardless of everything that was going on, they had inner peace. they just had inner peace with them when they were with him. They were not scared he was going to do this. They were just peaceful. They were at rest. So I think that's one of the ways you would know. Somebody else can give us theirs.
Inner peace.
Yes, I agree with Jennifer. You just have to be. There's something that comes. There's something that comes with being at peace with who you're with. You understand? It's, something, it's like a gut feeling that just tells you that this is. And when you don't even need to go with your checklist. Your checklist is already in your head. The moment the person is saying this, saying that, and the saying becomes a part of you just tells you that this is not like Cora said. You just get to that point where that you know that you know that you know that you know that this is the direction. Then yes, you all because there's a place of because so that because there will be a place of fear coming to you at that point that hey, I'm not sure this is good. You go to God with further conviction that this is what is happening. Show me show me what to do. You understand? Because if you don't, we're not speaking English later after mathematical calculation. You understand? It's very, very important that we don't lose focus. And I think one of the I think as much as we're talking about love, I also want us to understand one thing. Love,
We barely can hear you, Bishop, please.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I said as much as we're talking about love, I think we need to understand one very key thing that I've been learning for the past 1 year now. That love is a nature that is required in Christianity. Love is a nature that is required as a human being if you were created by God. But wives were not told to love their husbands in the Bible. Did you notice that?
Okay.
My understanding about marriage, you understand, but husbands were told to love their wives as the wives love the church. So there's a place where the leadership of the man, in his sacrificial nature, the love he has, that he sees not just as he sees it as a duty to ensure that this thing with my wife works. This thing I feel for this person is what I want. Do you understand? When you love your wife, you will nurture her dreams. Of course, our duty is to, key into your vision, not to nurture your vision. Key into is be a supporter of it. You are the one who owns your vision as a man. You understand? Our job is to support it. But your job, you understand? Because he said, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church and he gave himself. You understand? That means you're supposed to give yourself to your wife. Also in a way that talks about submission. Submission includes helping her build her, bring the queen in her house, nurture her, love her, whatever dream, whatever desire, whatever hopes she has, you are supposed to help her nurture it and make it come into fruition. Because with that and a submission to you being the leader, that is one of the foundations of a good home. And based on that, you cannot love. There's also a place in the Bible that Proverbs 23 to 4, we talks about by wisdom the home is by understanding, by knowledge. The key word there, as much as you can see that he talks about wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. You can't love what you don't know. You can't love something when you don't try to know that person. There's a place where knowledge of the person you want to be with comes into play. You have to be intentional about loving someone. You have to be purposeful. It's a desire that you must yearn for. You
can't just say, okay, once you meet someone, when Jennifer said, okay, what's up with this? If you are not specific, that means you have not come to the knowing, the knowledge that I want to be with this person, or can I be with this person? You understand? Because you have to give cogent reasons that, okay, this is why you are thinking about it. This is where you are. You are thinking whether this will go forward. You are saying, okay, I will give you an answer. The due time doesn't have to be 5 years. It's something that you have to be purposeful. Such that, it's more like an internal business transaction that you know that it's supposed to be a win-win situation for both parties, not for one party alone, because you know what is significant for the relationship. You understand? Proverbs 23, 3-4 has always been my watchword because I've come to the understanding that's love is never, because love is all encompassing. It is what a child of God should have in him or her.
Mm.
Do you understand? So the question of knowledge, knowing the person you want to be with, understanding based on the information you have of that person, understanding the information. You understand? Because by this, like saying that, okay, so a guy that is dating Jennifer now, and that's a Jennifer is sus. The guy will tell them, how do you know Jennifer is sus? I'm confident in this relationship. I love this thing. She has been there, she has been loving, and you're not telling me she's sus. That person
Bishop.
Hello?
Okay, all right. We're kind of losing the voice.
Victor, please, you have your earpiece or a headset plug because it's making one kind of sound at the background.
Right now?
Yes.
Yes, is it better?
Okay, go ahead. Maybe we can just we can manage it.
Okay, sorry. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is it better now?
You can go ahead, please. Now? Yes,
it's
go ahead.
Let me sum it up. Let's just understand one thing, that yes, eros, storge, and phileo, those are not the foundations of love. When you understand what godly love is, you understand. You will base that as you use that as a foundation, which is the nature of every man. Then once you now say, okay, you want to be with this person, you have to have the knowledge of that person, understand the information, the knowledge you have of that person. Now use wisdom to apply that knowledge of that person you have. That is the real key to a true and lasting relationship. From my understanding and from what I have researched deeply about for the past 1 year. Because number one, you have a car. What you love, you not. It means that no matter if someone gives you a rose now, if you don't water it, it will die. You have a car. Do you have to love your car? Do you have to love your car before you feel it feel? It's a natural responsibility because it works for you. If you actually know that this woman is important to your well-being, you are supposed to nurture what you have with her. You're supposed to nurture your emotions, the love, the feeling, and everything you have with her. You understand? So that's where the application of the knowledge you know she likes this. Let her flower. You know she that's where the love language is coming from. You know she likes acts of service, and you know you really love her. Show her by your actions. You know she likes words of affirmation. Even Solomon praised his wife 40 times in Songs of Solomon. Why is that a problem for you to praise a girl that you're dating every morning? How are you? Sing the song to her. If it's Craig David, you can sing for her. Sing Craig David for her. Make her smile. You understand those little things. Yeah. So it is those. That is so the knowing has to be based on the knowledge that person has of you. You understand? You be with someone and the person will not have an understanding of, okay, at this point she can be moody. You understand? He doesn't know. He's listening to he's listening to respond. He's not listening to understand. If you love someone, you listen to understand, then give a feedback. And you should not give a feedback based on your emotions, because that's where maturity comes into play. You shouldn't marry someone who is not matured.
Okay,
Maturity
great.
is, so on and so forth like that. Let me just sum it up that way.
Maturity is key, right? Maturity is key. Like, you cannot date someone. We're not even talking about marriage now. You cannot date someone that is not mature, because it would affect the relationship. It would affect the relationship. So in summary, because we have to bring the session to a close, it's a 2 hours program actually. So I guess we've already exceeded like 6 minutes my time here. And in summary of what we've discussed, trying to build a healthy relationship, you have to know yourself first. You have to know your partner, have an understanding of who they are, and you yourself, because it is important for you to know yourself. Because so when you see what you are looking for, you will be able to recognize it. But when you don't have an understanding of who you are and what you want, and who you want to spend that your desire with, when you see it, you will not identify. So which means that anything that is available is okay, and you can always settle for less. And when that happens, it means you already set a faulty foundation for your relationship. And the faulty foundation talks about failure. So you already set the relationship. So when we talk about clarity, you have to be clear. There is nothing like, let's see how it goes. This is what I want. Let's see if we're on the same page. All right, we are still going to pray about it. And above all of this thing I see us talking about, we said the place of prayer, it is very, 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 very important. Right. The wisdom we are talking about is the intervention of the Holy Spirit. Before you kickstart anything, you need to hear that and pray about it. I know I don't want to assume that we are all Christian, but whichever religion we are actually serving, if it is Islam, you need to ask Allah to direct you. Wisdom, they said, is profitable. So before, even if you see the chemistry is started, all this emotion, everything is going, you need to calm down. Like, okay, is this actually what you want? Does it look like the future you aspire? So because when the foundation is faulty, divorce is just so inevitable. Like, it is, you already signed up for it. Like, hey, here I come. So guys, I really thank us for our participation, our time as well. But before we round up, we'll go, I would want every one of us to put on their camera so we can put a face to the names. Right. So